Training College, and all our dear students of HR, KC, BGTC. Wishing you once again a very good morning. It is the fourth day, as Dr. Yogita mentioned, of this induction program. And today we have organized a very significant talk for all of you, Yoga for Young Minds, specially curated for each one of you. And it will be presented by Sri Subodh Tiwari ji. Subodh ji, we are very, very privileged to have you with us today. You have been very instrumental when we designed the syllabi for BSc Yoga. You were instrumental in organizing many programs with KC College and HSMC board colleges, whether it is International Day of Yoga, last 5 years. And also we have MOU signed with Kaivalya Dham, and we run many yoga programs for our teachers, for students in association with them. And Dr. Subodh Tiwari ji is very, very instrumental, a guiding force and mentor for all of us. He's one of the most dynamic and industrious yogi for me and for most of us, working ceaselessly to build a very, very happy world around him. On a lighter note, let me tell you, whenever I speak to him and on the other side of the phone, when I hear a big and lovely and very positive namaskar, my day is done. And I would request him when he starts the session, he should start with that namaskar, because it will be enchanting and students would love it. Where I believe that when humans cannot be spiritually and physically healthy, not only they are healthy, but also in harmony with the purest form of environment. He wants to build that happy world. So not only you need to be spiritually healthy or physically healthy, but mentally as well. And you have to make your environment also that purifying. So Dr. Subodh Tiwari, for me, is that person who has dedicated his life to this noble cause of teaching yoga all over the world. That what people see, but for me, I think is a person which believes in 3 words, that is discipline, dedication, and devotion in life. And that's what his is the most important ingredient in him. And from the age of 6, he has taken his journey in the direction and has been continuing his service to this to society, with yoga being in the forefront. So indeed, it's an immense pleasure that we have with us Subodh ji. A warm welcome to you, Subodh ji, once again at our university's induction. It's a joy seeing you being invited by HSMC University in this. You addressing our first batch of HSMC University. They are participating with their friends and family, and that's a joy. When a couple of parents called me and said that entire family was listening to the talks, and that's what we believe at HSMC. It's for masses, a teaching and learning experience for masses. So thank you very much, Subodh ji, for accepting our invitation and joining us in the most significant phase of our educational program. So we are delighted to have you with us. Thank you so much. And I welcome everyone who's watching this program. And I know that you will have very enlightening experience with Subodh ji during this day. So a warm welcome again, and over to you, sir. And before that, I request Dr. Yogita Shinde to formally introduce Dr. Subodh ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. It's indeed a privilege to introduce our speaker for the day, Sri Subodh Tiwari ji. Sri Subodh Tiwari ji was born in the yogic atmosphere at Kaivalya Dham, Lonavala. At a young age, he received spiritual initiation from Swami Digambar ji, the director and spiritual head of Kaivalya Dham Yoga Institute. He began yoga practice under the guidance of his father, Sri O.P. Tiwari. From 1987 to 1997, he pursued higher education in Bombay, where he completed his degree in law. He pursued a diploma in human resource management and is presently pursuing a master's degree in human resource management. In 1992, he completed his certificate course in yoga. In 1997, he decided to devote his life to the Kaivalya Dham Yoga Institute and serve it. He joined as the administrator of the SADT Gupta Yogic Hospital and Healthcare Center, and also shouldered the responsibility of administration of the institute. implementing improved systems. Being a nature lover at heart, he has implemented many environment friendly practices. He has also been the editor of the Institute's newsletter since 1997. Tiwariji initiated and coordinated programs to train school teachers in yoga for Navodaya schools, Kendriya Vidyalaya, and for schools in the state of Maharashtra. He was the coordinator on behalf of the Institute for the program of promotion of yoga in school by the Ministry of HRD. He was also the coordinator of the scheme Yoga in School Health under the Department of Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Through his initiative, institutes statewide came together and formulated the module for yoga for higher education, for which he served as editor. Shri Subodh Tiwari ji has been organizer and convener of various international conferences organized by Kaivalya Dham. He has spoken at various national and international conferences and has visited the USA, Canada, Macau, Mauritius, Germany, France, and Italy to conduct yoga workshops. Shri Tiwari ji is also the secretary of the Lonavala Mandala Citizens Forum, a non-profit organization working for the betterment of the Twin Towns. Various positive measures have been initiated for enhancing the local infrastructure and making it more environment friendly. His goal is to qualitatively enhance the life of an individual through the practice of yoga and enhance the quality of environment through human efforts. Recently, in 2018, Mr. Tiwari has been conferred the 100 most impactful healthcare leader at the World Health and Wellness Congress and awards. Without any further delay, I would request Shri Tiwari ji to address our students. Over to you, Subodh Tiwari ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to come back to a forum of your alma mater. Before we start our session, it's a session on yoga for young minds. Let's devote a few minutes to centralize our awareness, because yoga is about being aware, is about being in the moment. So wherever you are, may I request you to please devote these 120 seconds to being aware of your own breath, of your own self. So please sit in an upright position wherever you are, on a chair, on a sofa, on the ground. Gently close your eyes. Just observe your posture. Posture should be upright, shoulders relaxed, your eyes gently closed, and your awareness on your breath going in and your breath coming out. Just observe your breath. Observe the movement of your abdomen and your chest when you breathe in and out. Your mind will try to run around here and there. Get it back. Try to get it back to your breath. We will start the session by recitation of the Shanti mantra, a peace invocation. You all may just feel the vibrations. Those of you who know it can continue to recite it at the other end. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. And here we are. Namaskar to everyone out there. I extend greetings from Kaivalyadham, and right now I am in this pristine environment in Lonavala. You would hear the birds chirping around while I speak to you for around 40 minutes on the essence of yoga and yoga for young minds. Before I start to uh, share my presentation, my dear young friends, I will tell you that it's been a privilege. Actually, I studied till 10th grade while I was in Lonavala. Uh, and I would say that I was a half developed personality when I reached KC College, uh, seeking admission, and landed up there in my 11th standard. And I should admit that there has been a major role of the college in transformation of the personality, which went from Lonavala to Mumbai and which came back from Mumbai to Lonavala back. So I'm very happy to be interacting with you, and very happy that you are part of this first batch of the Hyderabad Sindh National University, Board's University, and you'll be getting best of education both in the sense of skills and sense of knowledge. And we are here to discuss about yoga because uh, I came in Mumbai and I grew up in an institute which was a yoga institution. Uh, but then I spent almost a decade in Mumbai because I was studying commerce. Then I studied law and I practiced in the High Court for a year before I came to Lonavala. So, friends, I have myself witnessed the advantages of what I'm going to speak. So I speak to you with personal experience and not only preaching as to what is good and what is not good. So it's a very simple and a very general presentation, and we'll try to seek and try to understand what yoga is, because it's a very important aspect of one's, in to equip oneself for a holistic well-being at all levels. So yoga for young minds, all my first year degree students who have joined recently and going through this lovely induction program. Just to begin you, I come from this institution, Kaivalyadham, which was established in 1924. First ever institution in the world to do scientific research in yoga. So you have yoga research. So we have a lab where you have a pathological lab, you have radiology and everything. So you're studying yoga in terms. So it is a scientific perspective. You have philosophy studies. So you study the texts of yoga, the philosophy of yoga. We also have a degree college which offers various programs in yoga. You have a healthcare center which ensures that everyone is peaceful and well. Everyone stays healthy. And of course, we also have a CBSE school where we try to implement what we preach. So we teach the students, our children, 800 kids, they practice yoga every day in the school, and which has been going on for last 8 years. So this is about me and my institution. And now let us go into the subject which we intend to discuss. So I won't dive into yoga and explaining to what yoga is, but you see, we live in a very different time, and more so last 7 months have been very, very, very different, which we did not expect. So yoga in general, we say, is a practice of health, is practice of well-being, is practice of holistic well-being. But at an age which you are, not now, but I think at least 10 years before, everyone used to believe yoga, jab hum senior citizen banenge tabhi karenge. But we have to understand that good things in life need to be adopted as soon as we can. So it is how we understand the subject which is very important. So let us look at what life, there are challenges in life. There are good things in life, but there are challenges. There are challenges for everyone. And what are the challenges? In today's life, God has given us enough, but even after having enough, our expectations don't end. So this cartoon is an example of that. The philosophy is life, that if God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And then it goes to say that, well, it will also be nice if I have got glasses and a pitcher, and everything is provided, but still it seems it is not sufficient. And we need napkins too. That is an indication that one should be at least happy with what you have and what you get. And this is about what I'm speaking is the general instances of how in a world which we live today. Simple things in life, You see this cartoon, what does it say? What is your secret for a long life? Always remember to inhale after you exhale. How many of us have actually paid attention to even our breathing? It is not until you are pushed in the swimming pool, and if you don't know how to swim, will you even pay attention to this most important, subtle activity of our body, of our mind. So simple things in life. If you are walking, if you have the privilege of being in a college where you can just walk to the sea, the Marine Drive, appreciate what you have got. We tend to actually look at what we don't have rather than what we have. Focus on the right thing, So this cartoon is just an example of, we know what is necessary, but anything what is necessary, if you exceed in doing that, it's not good. So one has to be in harmony, one has to be in synthesis, one has to be in symphony in life. And that is what this conveys. Yes, of course you need protein, but you don't need so much that you land up in a statistics where you are not fit. Until the 22nd of March 2020, all of us thought we don't have time. Probably the students didn't have time for parents, spend most of the time outside. Parents didn't have time for children because they were working too hard, probably. And, there was a WhatsApp joke which said that, whenever God asked for a conversation with the man and man said, well, I'm too busy, God said, all right, I'll stop everything and let's see how busy you get. So that is where we are. So anything which we do, let's devote our attention, our time. At least 7 months we have been home. We should understand that management of time is very important. And that helps us in everything else which we do. And this is another indication of the life we live in today, wherein you have people can't sleep because you have the thought that you can't sleep. And this is a vicious cycle which continuously goes on because there are so many distractions, there are so many things to be doing in life. The span of attention of individual has gone down really, really low. And students especially need to understand and pay attention to be able to develop the ability to concentrate. So while we are here, 45 minutes talk, just observe yourself, each one of you who's listening here at home, how many times does your mind go off to what you are listening to? How many times are you forced impulsively to just distract yourself from what is going on and do something else? Fidget with your phone, look at the WhatsApp, look at your computer, which is another computer, look at your Facebook. So the ability to enable you to concentrate is important. Everyone today, in today's world, be it a student, be it a businessman, be it an entrepreneur, anyone, stress levels are really high. because our expectation bars have been set high. Raising expectation is not good, but management of stress is very important. As students, you should realize that you are just entering the first year of graduation. And for some who have been in schools till 12th, it's a sense of freedom. And as you gradually go in your experience, you have to understand that stress levels are going to increase. And stress is always going to be there. Stress of studies, peer group. But we should know how to manage the stress, how to identify stress. And yoga, of course, like I said, is a process where you can be holistically well, be happy, be peaceful. Because please remember that happiness essentially lies in just being able to sit by yourself and smiling. That's the most important thing which one should be able to do. Like what we say, that each individual, whether you are 10-year-old, whether you are 15 years old, or whether you are 50 years old, you should be able to enjoy your own company. When you were a kid, when you were a child, it never bothered you. All you were happy playing with yourselves, devoting time of you for yourself. And this is precisely how you manage stress. So latest research, average human body is 20% water and 80% stress. And that is, yoga can help you get out of that, reverse that situation. Let it be 80% water, 20% stress. Stress will always remain. You always, until you complete your graduation, until you complete your studies, life, it always remains. And finally, many times we have a lot of theory, but we need to practice. Our simple ability, like staying with ourselves, being able to practice anything which enables your concentration. Anything, maybe 10 minutes, but being able to pursue that. The cartoon says, I want to learn to live in the moment, but not this moment, some other moment. So mind always is very fickle. And these are the times where we are today, with variety of distractions, variety of difficulties, variety of challenges, with variety of goodness and variety of positivity. And we need to have right kind of priorities in life. Because ultimately, each one of us is responsible for our own self. Look at this cartoon. Simply, everyone says there is less time in the day. I want more time in the night because I want to sleep more. Late nights, getting more out of bed late. Well, need to set priorities right. You have an option, for your own self. And this is just an indication that ultimately you cannot blame it on anyone else. It is you who's going to take the driving seat, not only of the car or the bike, which you are trying to force your parents to buy for you, but you should take the driver's seat in your life so that you are able to prioritize your own self of the things which you need. So this is a general view of where we stand today, how things are. All of you in this year 2020, the famous or infamous, have enrolled yourself in the first year of graduation. And more so, you have had more time to prioritize yourself and rethink of what is important and what is not. And now let's come to the understanding of yoga. Many of us now would be familiar with the term yoga. 2014 and before, every time there were situations that we had to explain to people what is yoga. But after the International Day of Yoga, now at least everyone knows what is yoga. And friends, all of you should be proud that Yoga is a very rich cultural heritage of India, and it dates back to at least 5,000 years BC. And there is one famous man. And so, as a simple general knowledge and education, which all of you should have, because you stay in a country of, where the yoga originated, you should know this name called Maharishi Patanjali. So I actually call him like the Amitabh Bachchan of yoga. And we have to understand that, and we have to realize that that is where our knowledge of yoga started. Most of us think of yoga as only the postures or the asanas which we see. Naturally, because you've seen everyone performing those difficult headstands, someone sitting on the rope and doing stuff. So of course that is there, but that is only a very marginal part of what yoga is. This induction program essentially, I think, aims at getting you on board with the values, with the vision of the university. And it is an immense pleasure that, that it might be one of the most unique universities which has actually chose the first department to start on its own, and that was the discussion on yoga. Because though we may not give importance to it right now, but let me tell you, friends, it is like a seed which is so small, which you can't even see, but when you plant and the tree grows into its majestic form, that is when you realize the potential of that seed. And yoga is that seed, which if you adopt, you will have an asset of ensuring that you are healthy at your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. And let me tell you again, फिर से मैं कहना चाहता हूं, being healthy starts right when you are born. So it's not that you will adopt this when you are 50 years old. And I will explain to you. It is so important for youngsters today. I was lucky. I had personal exposure to this. But all my friends during my time in college now realize, and they all are practitioners, that, oh, at least we knew and now it's helping us. So first thing, please remember this name, Maharishi Patanjali. Maharishi Patanjali is known as the father of yoga traditionally. Let us absorb this. That is where the origins of yoga lie. And that is very good. Our principal Hemlataji is showing us the statue of Maharishi Patanjali, which she keeps it in her office, and it's always visible whenever we have any function. And Maharishi Patanjali visited this planet Earth around 2500 to 3000 BC. Knowledge of yoga was there, but why I re-emphasize again and again is, in India, we are so susceptible to be influenced to Western knowledge that somehow some of us may just start thinking that the origins of yoga or something just started around 50 years ago. No, they started 2,500 years ago, friends. And it's one of the most scientifically written document called Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, just for general knowledge. You remember this? And this book has 195 sutras. Sutras is the set of aphorisms. Okay, just that much, no more knowledge. Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali is known as the father of yoga. He laid down systematically the knowledge of yoga. One thing to remember. Second, yoga is not only postures. Yoga is not about stamina. Yoga is not about building your muscles. Yoga is about what we will see. Here I have explained, or I have displayed Ashtanga Yoga. Why do we say Ashtanga Yoga? because yoga has 8 limbs. So according to Maharishi Patanjali, the 8 limbs of yoga is very important. We will just touch the base. We will limit ourselves to the initial understanding. Ashtanga Yoga, please remember, friends, there is an element of yamas and niyamas. Why is it important? The world has forgotten. You have so many famous teachers, but all mostly you see is practice of asanas and pranayama. But yamas and niyamas, very simply put, are the ideal characteristics which we should possess, which our parents have been saying since long, but somehow we have imbibed most of it. Something remains, but it is very simple. For example, you say that you want to be peaceful. I don't want tension nature. So you will have to have basic characteristic to be peaceful. Similarly, in yoga, they say yamas and niyamas are important. Yamas are interpersonal characteristics. So suppose you have 2 friends. How would you like your friend to behave with you? Similarly, you should be able to behave with your friends. This is an expectation of give and take, interpersonal relationship. This is very important. There are 5. What are these 5? Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha, Brahmacharya. Now you will say, sir, Sanskrit is very difficult. Okay, let us simplify it. Give you an example. Ahimsa is non-violence. You should have an attitude of peace. Interpersonal should be peaceful. You should learn that the moment you get angry, that is the moment you should get quiet, because anger should not get that violence. Ahimsa, Satya, truthful. Very important. Suppose you miss when the college starts and principal takes the first lecture and you miss that first lecture. And before and the second lecture you want to bunk and you tell the principal, ma'am, I need to go. My grandmother is not well. Principal says, please go and take care. But you have forgotten. She's also your Facebook friend. So the photographs of your evening dinner are on the Facebook and she is capable of looking at it. So by the time you have spoken the untruth, till the time you are actually there, you will be miserable just by the apprehension that kya hoga unko pata chalega to. So this very basic element of you not being able to speak the truth will continuously make you uncomfortable. And that is the reason why yoga says, try and make it possible that you are truthful. Asteya, it means non-stealing. You have to understand it. Stealing in terms of physically, stealing in terms of ideas. Aparigraha, holding. Brahmacharya is discipline. Since we are just touching down, I'm going to restrict myself. But friends, please understand, these are qualities which one should try to develop. Your friendship will get stronger. Your relationships will get stronger with each and everyone with whom you desire. And what is better than to have friends with complete honesty, complete celebrityness? So interpersonal is yamas and niyamas is those aspects of personality for your own self. Sauch, Santosh, Tapa, Swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan. 5. Again, don't get afraid because of the Sanskrit words. That time Sanskrit was spoken. It's very simple. It says, Sauch, cleanliness, maintain cleanliness at your physical level, but also maintain cleanliness at your mental level. Santosh, be content. If you have just been given iPhone 10, Please don't force your parents to buy you iPhone 11. You have to be content. You have to be happy because these things will keep on coming. You can't just go running after them. Tapa is strength, austerity, practice, ability. Right now, you have the ability to be home. You have the ability to keep sanity. You have the ability to do what you want to do online. Swa Adhyaya means please ensure that you are in a process of self-learning. Learning should never stop. And Ishwar Pranidhan is your ability to surrender. Go to what it means. How many times it happens in life that we just get very upset because we have not got what we desired. We have not got into this course, we have not got this, we've ordered this, we did not get this. So friends, one of the most important things in life, because all of you are now adults, you are into a very important phase of your life. And that is your ability to surrender to something supreme. You should have that ability to surrender. Accept that, yes, probably I've tried my best. What happens? Sometimes we have studied very hard, but we fail. Sometimes we have studied hard, we don't get what we have expected. A riot runs in our mind and we want to do something this extreme or that extreme or anger. But yoga teaches you, make best effort possible. Because effort is in your hand. Try your best. And leave the rest. Accept the result. You don't need to panic. Life is precious. Keep trying. We have stories of Abraham Lincoln. We have stories of that spider making the web. So one needs to ensure that you keep trying, not getting disheartened. This is the essence of yoga. And that ability to do that comes out of practice of yoga. So friends, yamas and niyamas are very important. I would definitely recommend after this lecture, go on the new Guru site called Google Baba or Google Devi and try to read a little more about the yamas and niyamas. And then you have the element of asana and pranayama. Now, asana is the practice of postures. What you see of stabilizing yourself at your physical. Pranayam is your breath. The importance of your breath is humongous. I'll give you one very simple example. If your mind is agitated, you are anxious. कॉलेज कब खुलने वाला है, मेरा एडमिशन लिस्ट में नाम आया है कि नहीं आया है, कितना आया है, मेरिट लिस्ट में आया है कि नहीं. What happens to your breath goes up and down, up and down. Why? You're anxious. So breath is related to the state of your mind. And then you have got your admission and you're walking on that marine drive, looking at that vast ocean. What happens? Mind is calm, your breath is calm. Pranayam is the possibility of your breath works, manipulating the breath for advantage of your own self. Then you have pratyahar. Pratyahar means your ability to withdraw. Many times we have in life, when we are a group of friends and someone is shouting, हम बोलते हैं, छोड़ दो अपने को क्या करना है. That is very important. We should have the ability not to get affected by what is not important to us, but being affected by what is important to us. Dharana is ability to concentrate. Have you ever seen, I don't know how many of you have visited Thailand or Kerala, but if you know, in Thailand, there are these small streets with a lot of fruits. And they get the elephants through the street. Now, it is always a question where we wonder that how come the elephants are not eating the fruits which are right besides? So what the man does is he gives a stick to the elephant to hold in his mouth. The elephant is so concentrated on that stick holding in his mouth that he just walks through that whole street without realizing there are fruits or anything. His concentration is just on the stick. So dharana in Sanskrit is your ability to concentrate. The relativeness changes from decade to decade, but your ability to concentrate is always very important. Be it your studies, be it your social life, wherever. Concentration, being able to concentrate. Dhyan is state of being blissful, meditation, which you must have heard a lot. And finally, samadhi, I don't think it is too esoteric. It just means you can be happy. You can be equanimous. Now, while all of this, what I said, may sound philosophical to you, I always say, you don't need to be very serious, but you need to be sincere. Start with practice of 5 minutes each day. We are, of course, on behalf of the university and Kaivalya Dham, we would be offering opportunities for practicing yoga, learning yoga online. And all I say, 5 minutes each day. Try and see the difference. Maintain a log, maintain a diary. How do you feel? Oh, today I got very agitated. I was very angry. Oh, I closed my eyes and sat and I did breathing for some time. It will help you immensely. As we proceed towards conclusion, let's see a few more slides. What is yoga? Physical steadiness and balance. It is not power building. It is about stability. It is about feeling well-being. So you can never compare a yoga asanas. You cannot compare, I do this, I do very good, and how do you do? No, it is how each one of you do. So yoga asanas is for physical steadiness. This says I bend so that I don't break. So many advantages to this, but let's try and learn few asanas. One very important and favorite asanas, asan for students, I say, is vrikshasana. You stand on one feet, your other leg folded and placed on your knees, and stretching your hands and trying to balance it. Try to do that. Very nice for your clearing up your mind, stretching yourself. So asanas, one of the important components. Yamas and niyamas, friends, remember, you're going to Google it once I finish my talk. Yoga is proper breathing. Very important. Because many of us just, it is more to do with breath. Breath is your connection for each and every second. You are agitated, breath is heavy. You're relaxed, breath is light. Practice pranayam, part of yoga. You will be able to change the stress and agitation into calmness. That is the beauty. Simple, but effective. And we need to try and start to learn that whenever the opportunity comes. Yoga is uplifting. Not in literal sense like this, but remember, it is only when you do it will you experience. I remember a story. I was returning from New York and I was seated and there was a scientist and he was a food technologist. And I asked him, sir, what are you doing? He says, no, I have been researching for so many years on the Indian Eastern sweets. And I have written a big thesis on Rasagulla, which is made in Calcutta. I said, very good, very nice. He says, it took me 3 years, consistency, this quality, that quality. I said, what are you doing now? No, now I'm going to Bengal to try and have an original Rasgulla for the first time. So it is important in yoga that you experience through practice. I can speak to you for hours and hours, it wouldn't make a difference. So yoga is uplifting. Practice for 5 minutes. I don't say more. Practice 5 minutes and see how you feel. And that is important. What happens? Simple things. There are 3 important things I always say in life, which all of us know, but we don't adhere. Now, whether we are a child or student or elderly or, have very matured sense of thinking. I always say, do not react. Try to respond. So don't react when you are angry. Never. You do something which is not right, then you regret it. Never promise when you are happy. I am overwhelmingly happy and I promise you I will give you this. And what happens after 6 hours? Oh, I have promised. Lastly, do not take decisions when you are sad. Let the time pass and you will realize you will gain strength. So don't take decisions. And this is one cartoon which says one thing which simply occurs to you after practices is you stretch to conclusion instead of jumping. These are just indications of the quality which our students can develop over a period of time. Last 2 slides, I said, let's see what's the scientific evidence. मतलब सर आप आए हमको बोला बहुत ज्ञान दिया. We are all first year graduate students. So much of evidence. GABA is the happiness hormone or neurotransmitter. And there has been research which says when you practice yoga, when you practice pranayama and asanas, the levels of your GABA in your brain increase. So imagine, people do so many things to increase that happiness quotient in your brain. Some things which are terribly wrong. But you have yoga. You need high acceleration in happiness. Practice yoga for half an hour and you have your increase in GABA. Try the better method. And what happens to your physical brain? Of course, meditation has shown that the cortical thickness of your brain increases. That means there is a physical change in your brain. So much of evidence. Now we are speaking scientifically, not only philosophically. So friends, we have to understand that yoga is about practice. Yoga is an ancient cultural heritage of India. We have this misnomer that it can only start once you are probably above 50. I say start as soon as possible. You will benefit by it. Be sincere. You don't need to be serious. And finally, practice 5 minutes a day. That's it. You don't need too much to start with, but without experience, nothing will happen. You have to start somewhere. And it is a very simple thing to do. So like I said, the last cartoon here or last saying, stop pushing the hard on door looking for happiness because it opens inwards, right? And that is true. We should develop the ability to look inwards. And very simply, if you want to objectively test on yourself, look at yourself. Can you sit with your eyes closed, looking at your breath without getting distracted for even a minute? If you are able to achieve that, you are a good practitioner. Continue to increase that time. So start practice with this understanding. Like I said, that it starts with the first step. And all I wanted to discuss and convey to you that yoga is that seed which has a huge potentiality to strengthen your lives throughout, not only while you're a student. It is an asset which you get, which you can use whenever, and you will always be grateful for when you learn these practices. So I'm sure that the university and Kaivalyadham will be able to offer you learnings and take you with us. And I'm so thankful to the organizers to have invited me. It's always my privilege to help and to be of any help to my alma mater, which I'm so proud of. So thank you so much, everyone there. And now I pass it on to you. Thank you.
Subodhji, we are really delighted that our first batch of HSNC University got this amazing opportunity to be with you, to learn from you spiritual insights, yogic insights, and even how they can lead their life from now on is just taking one step. I think they must have realized this one step is so important, and that is not tomorrow, it's now, and it's just now today. So I think we will continuously will see to it that we invite you and you are there with them and mentor them, and we align their thoughts, their physical strength, their mental strength, their emotional strength, and spiritual strength scientifically, so that they start looking at life in such a beautiful manner. What values we want to inculcate in them, I think it can really happen through yoga and through your mentorship, under your mentorship and under your guidance. So thank you so much. But before we end, I think there are many questions which are there on YouTube channel, and they are going to be transferred to chat box. So may I request students to take it forward and take the session ahead.
Yeah, I see questions.
You are seeing, yeah. So someone will read through, Subodhji, and
yeah.
Yes,
No,
we have.
I can do that myself. Actually, the question is how does yoga and how to do yoga and meditation if you haven't done it before? Does practicing yoga and meditation heal a person on preconceived notion of humans that yoga and meditation will heal, emits positive chemicals in mind, and that chemicals heal the body? So I think if one is, we have to understand that yoga and meditation are not two separate things. Yoga includes, like you would have seen in the presentation, yoga includes meditation. When you practice yoga, definitely, like I showed you, that there is an increase in GABA, which is a neurotransmitter, which can be objectively verified. So yes, practices of yoga, which includes meditation, helps you in many ways, and one of the ways it heals you completely from inside. But friends, remember, like we need to go slow and steady, similarly in yoga, we need to graduate into practices. So we have to be steady at a physical level, then at our mind level, and then go towards the practices of meditation. So it has to be a very calibrated effort towards going to meditation. But to answer your question, it is affirmative that yes, there is a large contribution of yoga in your healing, which is now has huge scientific evidence. Another question is, it is said that when we do yoga in wrong time and wrong ways, it might have bad effects on our health. Is it correct? Anything in life, if you do it at wrong time and wrong way, will have adverse effect, and the same applies to yoga. So one needs to ensure that you have learned the practices under a competent teacher or a competent system, because that is what, once you learn, you can practice. So yes, if your technique is not right, then it might have adverse effects, and therefore one should be careful when you are trying to learn the practices of yoga. Yes, so that is the two questions we had. Thank you so much.
Actually, there are a few more questions that we have on YouTube. Actually, the questions are pouring in, sir.
You will have to define till when.
So do you have time, YouTube, right? Subodh, do you have time, right?
I have time, no problem.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So to the last
Ma'am, Jaidev will ask the questions from YouTube.
So the YouTube comments are flooding in with questions. So I'll take a few from there. Yeah. So the first question is by Srishti Mishra. How to get motivation to do yoga daily?
Like I said, what happens is, if we set in too large expectation from us, like if we say, oh, you need to have 1 hour of yoga and you will practice asanas for half an hour, 15 minutes pranayam, then what happens? We get afraid. So the best motivation for you to do yoga is first start with short time. Practice it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but be regular in practices. One, that is very important. Secondly, if you can develop a sense of self-discipline or motivation for yourself through your family, then it enhances. Like if your brother, if your sister, or someone in the family or a friend can practice together, it will definitely lock into each other that yes, we need to practice. So one, start with 5 minutes of yoga to start with, and it will motivate you further to do it more. If you have initially someone else practicing with you, it will help you.
Oh, and the next question is by Harshita Chatlani. It is, along with all the studies and extracurricular activities that we do, and along with the competition going on, how do we stay calm and manage all our day and make something out of the day?
Yoga is the answer. See, how some of us try to. Some of us have this feeling that practicing something for health is like an additional burden. So did we ever question ourselves, oh, we are so busy, we are stressed out, why should we have a shower or a bath? Why should we brush our teeth? No, we don't have this question because it has become part of our lifestyle. So similarly, dear student, yoga practice, like I said, should become part of your lifestyle, and there you will naturally be able to answer your question, that you will be able to deal with all the stresses and strains beautifully through this practice. Right now you have pressure. Arey, exam aa raha hai, padna hai itna. You are a yoga practitioner, exam aa raha hai. I am on time, I am disciplined. So this helps in the complete change of the attitude and how to deal with stress. Let me tell you this. Stresses in life remain right from childhood till your old age. It's only how we are able to manage it. And yoga teaches you how to manage it.
So the next question is, in this world of instant gratification, where people are willing to spend hours on social media and have fun at the tip of their fingers, how yoga helps to achieve the needed dopamine detox?
I say yoga teaches you to be happy in spite of and not because of. What does that mean? It means that while you cannot do away with computers and mobile phones, but you should not be dependent on them to be happy. So what has become essential today? A Wi-Fi connection, isn't it? Do we realize you go out of data and network for 5 minutes and you are under stressed and you're almost depressed? Why? Because you have become so dependent. So in today's time, while you have everything on your fingertip, and it will remain, and those which are distractions, yoga says you should develop an ability of concentration, that is dharana. And by practice it happens. And when you are able to concentrate, when you do the social media, you will do it very well. Then you leave it. And then when you do the studies, you will do it very well. So we need to ensure that we concentrate on whatever we are doing, and we are not dependent on anything for happiness. We are independent.
Okay. The next question is, we understand that our mind is not calm and we should not stress, but still we end up panicking and stressing. Can we do something to control our mind or not get affected by it?
Definitely. I will request Principal Himlata Bagla to enable the learnings of yoga as soon as possible for all of you. We might start offering twice online classes until you are at home, and because only practice will help. Like I said, that until you don't practice, we don't have the results. So you are stressed, definitely. Your mind is not restless. We know. How will it come? When you learn pranayama, is the breathing technique. So once you learn pranayama, 10 times I will do deep exhalation. For example, make sound of a humming bee. That is one pranayama called Brahmari. I will do that 10 times, and immediately you will know that you are calmed down. You will share with your friend will share with the family, and it goes by because you have experienced it. So when we experience these practices, it has huge potential to take care of your mind.
So the comments are flooding in, like the questions in the comment box. So can we take 2 more questions?
Yeah, okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. So then the next question is, does yoga and meditation have any effect on quantum reading?
Yoga, like I said, is a holistic science. So when we say well-being, enhancement, it is a whole package. If the whole field of what products you or what seeds you have plowed is going to be flourishing, then each and every inch of it will flourish. Similarly, each dimension of human personality will flourish once you start practices of the various aspects of you. Please remember, I said yamas, niyamas are important. We forget them. Asana, pranayam, concentration, meditation are important. But we need to learn them systematically. We have a lot of time, and it affects each dimension of human personality.
The next question is morning the only good time to practice yoga?
Any time excluding, see, normally we say when you have eaten food, your systems, your blood circulation is busy with digesting. So give 2 hours to yourself after you have eaten meals. Other than that, yes, we say preferably you do it in the morning. The reason for that is once you do it in the morning, then you may have anything in the day you are not sure of. But I would say yoga is being in yoga. So any time of the day is good, just ensuring that you avoid that time post 2 hours post your meal.
Okay. And the last question for the day is, sir, could you please suggest some books and books about yoga that are a must read?
There is, a simple book called Asanas, Why and How. Okay, which has a very simplistic approach to yogic practices, and especially for the students. So just Google Asan, Why and How by Kaivalyadham. Very simple explanation, very simple photographs. Like I said, friends, yoga is about being and not necessarily doing.
Okay. So we still have we have more questions, but yeah. So thank you, sir, for answering all the questions. And I would like to call Sejal ma'am for the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaydev. It's my proud privilege to present the vote of thanks for this 4th session of the induction program. So I, Sejal Rathod, on behalf of HSNC Board and HSNC University, all the 3 colleges, KC College, HR College, and Bombay Teachers Training College, extend my warm gratitude to Mr. Subodh Tiwari ji, CEO Kaivalyadham Yoga Institute, for sharing with us his experiences and guiding us through the essence of yoga. Sir, I assure you that the seed of yoga has been sown in all of us, and especially our young students. And that is reflected very clearly in the kinds of questions that they have been asking, inquiring as to what more they can learn and do with respect to yoga. So thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. Thanks are also due to our Dean of Science, Senior Dean of Sciences, Dr. Hindita Bagla, also Principal of KC College, to Dean of Commerce and Management, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, for being there, motivating us, and making this induction program for our students, the first batch of HSNC University. Thanks are due to
Manjula Srinivas, madam, so for coordinating this program. Thanks to you to Jaydev Talreja for taking up the questions so nicely, and Nikita Hivalkar and the entire technical team for making this program happen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Lastly, one word of thank you from all of us to Subodhji. Thank you so much. And as you rightly said, we will follow this. Let us start this yoga class. Many students would be interested. Now that they have heard you, let's plan it up. We have been planning from long, and we fix one day in a week, maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, suited to them, and start the sessions. They will join with friends, and we will be showing this program on YouTube. And I think this can start right away. So we can fix, I'll talk to you, and let us fix this program, and let us take that one step for them. All right. So sure. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure.
And lastly, let me tell you, friends, that you're very, very fortunate that you're part of the whole induction program. So please do not miss this golden opportunity, which has been brought to you by HSNG University. And tomorrow we will assemble back 11 o'clock. Digitally will get connected, and we have invited Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai. You must have known about him or read about him. He has written as many as 200 articles and various magazines, newspapers, and written. He's an author of 17 best-selling books on Chanakya, including Corporate Chanakya. And he has, if you heard Dr. Shivanandan, he has written a book on Chanakya, 7 Secrets of Leadership. It was with Mr. Shivanandan, but it was written by Radhakrishna Pillai. So you will get to meet him tomorrow. Get ready with questions. Do Google about him and read about his books. And you can even learn from him how to be an author. So see you tomorrow at this time, 11 o'clock, with your entire friends, family, and youngsters in your family also can join. A lot of learning experience we are looking forward to. Thank you so much. And once again, a big thank you to Pooja Madam, Dr. Sejal, Manjula, Vice Principals of KCNHR, and all the students of KCNHR and students of HSNC board colleges. Thank you.
Thank you to you too, ma'am. It's your effort. I think students are benefiting from such wonderful lectures. Thank you to the entire KC team and HR team and the Subodh Tiwari also. Thank you.
Ma'am, can I end the session with your permission?
Yes, please end the session.
Thank you.